Are you feeling overwhelmed by the obstacles in your life? Like no matter how hard you try, you can't seem to get ahead? Maybe you're stuck, facing uncertainty in your career, relationships, or personal growth. It's easy to feel trapped, like you're running out of time or options. You're not alone in that feeling. But what if I told you that the key to moving forward lies in something you've never really considered? The people you choose to spend your time with matter more than you think. Yes. That includes those familiar faces you turn to for comfort. We all have people in our lives whose homes we can visit at any time, without a second thought. They're the ones who know us, who've seen us at our best and worst. And often, we go there seeking refuge or a sense of belonging, or even to kill time when we're feeling bored or lost. But what if I told you that not all of these people are worth your time, especially as you grow older? There are certain individuals whose energy and influence can actually hold you back, even if their intentions are good. So, let's talk about the 4 types of people whose homes you should avoid, no matter how much free time you have. This isn't about cutting people off for no reason. It's about protecting your mental and emotional well-being, your growth, and your future. This script is going to break down why these people might be harmful to your journey, how their influence can keep you from advancing, and most importantly, how to handle these relationships with grace while still honoring your own needs. The idea is to empower you to make better choices about how you spend your time and energy. You're about to learn about the 4 types of people who, if you're not careful, can cause more harm than good. We'll also talk about how to protect yourself, establish boundaries, and make sure that your free time is spent in ways that move you toward your goals. Let's dive in. There are times when you'll face challenges that seem insurmountable. You may feel like you've tried everything, and yet the obstacles keep piling up. Your relationships may not feel fulfilling. Your job may seem like a dead end, or your personal development might feel like it's on pause. It's easy to look for distractions, even in the form of old, familiar friends or family members. But the truth is, distractions can be toxic when they come from people who drain your energy without giving anything back. You deserve better than that. You deserve to be surrounded by people who inspire you, challenge you, and uplift you. But first, you need to recognize the ones who do the opposite. The comfort zone creator. These people are the ones who make you feel good about staying exactly where you are. They are comforting, and their homes are like a haven where you don't have to think about your struggles. But here's the catch: they don't push you to do more, to reach higher, or to take risks. They are the ones who unknowingly encourage complacency by reassuring you that everything is fine just as it is. Spending time with them feels safe, and it's tempting to fall into the trap of staying within your comfort zone. But comfort zones aren't where growth happens. They are where dreams stagnate, where potential gets buried under the weight of routine. These people may not mean to hold you back, but by constantly offering you an escape from discomfort, they are limiting your ability to face challenges head-on and grow from them. The consequences of ignoring this reality are significant. If you continue to surround yourself with comfort zone creators, you might end up stuck. You'll avoid confronting the tough decisions and uncomfortable truths that are necessary for growth. Without discomfort, there's no change. Without change, there's no progress. You may feel guilty about distancing yourself from these people because they're always there for you when you need them. I get it. But you have to ask yourself, is this relationship moving you toward the life you want, or is it just offering temporary relief from the pressures of life? If it's the latter, it's time to make a choice. The critic without constructive feedback. Each of us knows someone like this. From your job decisions to your personal connections, they view every aspect of your life, and nothing you do seems sufficient. You might first believe they are just being honest or helpful, but over time you will come to see their comments never feel like they should be building you up or motivating change. It is simply criticism done for its own purpose. The critic without constructive feedback enjoys highlighting your shortcomings without providing any insightful guidance on how to fix them. They are not someone who wants you to grow or flourish. This individual might remark things such, "You could have done this better," or "I don't understand why you even tried that," without ever asking follow-up questions on how you might do it differently next time. Constant exposure to this kind of negative feedback results in something subtle happening. You could initially dismiss it, believing it to be the view of one person. But you begin to doubt your own capacity over time. When the only thing you ever hear is what you did wrong, you start to doubt the decisions you do, since it makes it hard to see your strengths. Every little error makes one feel as though a tremendous setback. Until you start to doubt your ability for achievement, the more this person criticizes you, you start to absorb their negative. This is harmful, since it bit by bit erases your self-esteem. It becomes more difficult to see yourself clearly, and you begin to believe that it will never be sufficient no matter how hard you strive. This kind of pessimism saps you, and over time it gets more difficult to muster the drive to keep ahead. You might be imprisoned. This can be a close relative, a friend you have known for years, or a coworker you spend a lot of time with. Even if their care consists in incessant criticism, how can you cut them off when they seem to be interested in you? The fact is, though, you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. You yourself are the only one you should start believing in. You also have to start sorting the folks who don't support you if you want to advance. Partaking in distance from a critic like this can be quite challenging, particularly if they have been in your life for a long period. You could experience guilt or anxiety about upsetting their emotions. Eventually, though, you have to decide on your own mental health and development above the ease of keeping a relationship depending on criticism and negativity. One is free to establish limitations. If it is not possible, then it is acceptable to create distance between you. You can decide to interact with them just in ways that are supportive and healthy for you. Unchecked, leaving this kind of relationship can have disastrous results. Doubts will keep you from trusting your own instincts or taking calculated chances. Constant voice of someone telling you you're not good enough over time stifles your potential. But you will start to see that your confidence starts to blossom after you detach yourself. You will start believing in your value and trusting your choices once more. Even if you fall short, you deserve people in your life who support you and who show you the road forward rather than only pointing out your mistakes. The drama magnets are like emotional black holes. They have an uncanny ability to attract chaos, and wherever they go, drama follows. Their lives are constantly full of crises, arguments, and emotional highs and lows. They thrive in this state of perpetual conflict, and somehow, they always find a way to bring you into the drama too. If they're not dealing with a messy breakup, they're caught up in a workplace scandal. If they're not arguing with family members, they're fighting with friends. And if there's a problem, you can bet they're going to call you, pull you into the emotional whirlwind, and expect you to drop everything to help them fix it. At first, this may seem exciting. Maybe you're drawn to the intensity of their emotions, or maybe you feel like you can help them solve their problems. But what quickly becomes apparent is that these individuals are never truly at peace. They can never seem to get things under control. And the worst part is, their emotional turbulence becomes contagious. You might find yourself getting sucked into their problems, worrying about things that aren't even yours to worry about, or losing sleep over situations that don't involve you at all. Drama magnets are experts at creating problems where there are none and blowing minor issues out of proportion. They love the chaos because it gives them attention, and drama often fuels their sense of importance. They don't necessarily want solutions. If they did, they would listen to your advice. Instead, they just want validation for their emotional crises. This is exhausting, and it can take a toll on your mental and emotional well-being. You may notice that the more time you spend with these individuals, the more you start seeing your own life through the lens of crisis. Things that used to seem small and manageable begin to feel overwhelming, simply because you've become used to seeing everything as a problem to be solved. Even if you're not directly involved in their drama, you feel drained by their constant need for attention and emotional support. And the real issue here is that this energy detracts from your ability to focus on your own life. You can't move forward if you're stuck managing someone else's emotional mess. Every conversation is centered around their problems, and every interaction drains you of your own emotional energy. You start neglecting your own issues, your own dreams, and your own peace of mind because you've become so wrapped up in theirs. You begin to see that drama magnet relationships are a trap. They're time-consuming, emotionally exhausting, and ultimately unfulfilling. The more you invest in these relationships, the less energy you have to focus on your own growth. Your own emotional stability becomes compromised as you try to help them stabilize theirs. The solution is simple but hard. You need to protect your peace by distancing yourself from these drama magnets. It's not about abandoning them or being unsupportive, but rather about realizing that you cannot afford to carry someone else's emotional baggage. If they are not seeking help or change, but instead are constantly drawn to crises, then you need to consider how much of your time, energy, and mental peace you are willing to sacrifice. Boundaries are key. Be clear about what kind of support you can offer, and don't get sucked into their drama. If they call you with the latest crisis, instead of immediately jumping into problem-solving mode, take a step back. Ask yourself, is this my problem? Is there anything I can do to help? Or is this just an emotional transaction that will drain me without providing any solution? If the answer is the latter, it's okay to step away. You can care for someone without letting their chaos consume your life. Drama magnets often need to learn how to deal with their emotions independently and not rely on others to constantly rescue them from their own messes. You cannot be their emotional crutch. You can't be the one who picks up the pieces of their brokenness if they aren't trying to fix it themselves. Focus on cultivating relationships that bring peace, stability, and mutual respect. Seek out individuals who can share their struggles with you but also offer you the same level of support when you need it. Why you should distance yourself ultimately. Both the critic without constructive feedback and the drama magnet can significantly hinder your growth, happiness, and emotional well-being. They pull you away from focusing on your own path and instead keep you stuck in their cycle of negativity and chaos. You need to prioritize your own mental health and emotional growth. You deserve relationships that are supportive, empowering, and mutually beneficial. If you continue to engage with these kinds of people, you risk losing yourself in their narratives, questioning your worth, and becoming emotionally drained. So, take a step back. Set boundaries, create distance, and protect your peace. Surround yourself with people who help you grow, who encourage your dreams, and who support you without draining you. You are in control of who gets access to your energy, and it's time to be selective about who you let in. Remember, Your time and emotional energy are precious. Don't waste them on people who don't help you become the best version of yourself. Choose wisely, and watch how much more focused, empowered, and at peace you feel. The takers are people who always seem to need something from you, your time, your energy, your resources, yet they rarely offer anything in return. At first, you might be happy to help, but over time, you realize that your generosity is being exploited. These individuals don't give back. They drain you without ever reciprocating, leaving you feeling used and unappreciated. Spending time with takers may feel like an obligation, and it can be easy to get caught in a cycle of giving without ever getting anything in return. You might feel guilty or responsible for their well-being, but this kind of relationship is unsustainable. If you keep giving without receiving, you'll eventually burn out. You'll end up giving so much of yourself to others that you lose sight of your own needs and goals. The consequences of staying in these relationships are steep. Not only will your own well-being suffer, but you'll also be left feeling resentful and unfulfilled. You might find yourself questioning whether your relationships are really genuine, or if they're just one-sided transactions. You don't need to allow anyone to drain you of your resources, whether those are emotional, financial, or time-related. You deserve relationships that are mutually enriching, where giving and receiving are balanced. Taking action now that you've identified the 4 types of people who can hold you back. It's time to take action. The first step is to set boundaries. Learn to say no when you need to protect your time, energy, and mental health. You don't owe anyone your time if it comes at the cost of your well-being. Next, surround yourself with people who push you to be better. Seek out those who inspire you, challenge you, and motivate you to keep moving forward. You don't have to cut people out entirely, but you do need to be strategic about who you spend your time with. Invest in relationships that help you grow, not those that hold you back. It's also important to remember that making these changes is hard. It's easy to feel guilty about setting boundaries, especially with family or longtime friends. But you have to remember, your life is yours to live. You are responsible for your own growth, and you can't afford to let others sabotage that. Conclusion: you are capable of more than you realize. You have the power to take control of your time and your energy. The key to unlocking your potential lies in the people you choose to surround yourself with. As you grow older, your time becomes even more precious. Don't waste it on people who bring you down. Instead, focus on those who lift you up and help you become the best version of yourself. Today, I want you to take one small action. Identify one person you've been spending time with who might be holding you back, and take a step to create some distance. Whether that's setting a boundary or simply being more mindful of how much time you give them, make the choice to protect your energy. Your future self will thank you. You're on the path to greatness. Don't let anyone's negativity or complacency stop you from moving forward. The world is waiting for you to show up as your best self. Start now.